PUBG has several different types of players, each with their own unique traits that embody who we are as humans: fear, greed, resentment, passivity. I've always viewed PUBG as sort of like a social experiment that showcases human behavior in its most primal state. Which begs the question, what kind of player are you? In this video, I'll be going over the different types of players in PUBG, using terms commonly used by the community, showcasing their mannerisms and behaviors, kind of like a wild animal documentary you would see on National Geographic. And if some of these traits hit a little close to home, please keep in mind this video is purely just for fun. We all come to PUBG for our own personal goals and reasons, so embrace who you are and just roll with the punches. Then let me know what type of player you are in the comments below. The sweats. Everyone has seen these players. Like, literally, you can see them from a mile away because they always wear the brightest, most obnoxious outfit possible. Almost like a bright neon middle finger to the lobby saying, I don't need to wear anything tactical because I'm going to steamroll you anyways because I play this game like it's my full-time job. Butts are players who have put an ungodly amount of time into this game, ignoring personal growth, family, school, their dog, and even hygiene, all for the sake of mastering recoil and perfecting their KD. If you're ever in a fight and you see a car rolling up with all 3 passengers sticking out of the car ready to throw down, at that point you might as well just leave the match because you're about to get ran through by a team of sweats. They scrim nightly, compete in tournaments, playing for 8+ hours a day, all with the hopes of being respected by the PUBG global elite and to hopefully one day rake in some of that dwindling esports money for a game that's way past its prime. But while sweats can often be the antithesis of your typical weekend casual 40-year-old dad who works 2 jobs like yours truly, sweats are actually for the most part pretty chill guys who are a blast to play with and are incredibly knowledgeable about PUBG. I've learned so much in just this past year with playing some of my newer friends I've made, and most are happy to share what they know as well because they're the most passionate players this game has to offer. It just sucks when you run into them. The Bambi. Opposite of the sweats, Bambis can usually be spotted by their trademark features: beige or brown skinny jeans, a gray shirt, no shoes, and they're completely unaware of the danger surrounding them, usually due to their lack of knowledge or skill in the game, and maybe because they typically don't play battle royales. For an experienced PUBG player, they're easier to kill than a baby deer, hence the term Bambi. Newer players can expect to be in the Bambi phase for probably the first 100 hours. By then you should have a general sense of movement and shooting in PUBG. If you find yourself in the Bambi class, please don't get discouraged by this game. Trust me when I say, with time and practice, this game only gets so much better. The pilot. We've all had our time where we always wanted to fly because, let's be honest, once you learn how to fly a glider and shoot from it, it's one of the funnest things that you can do in PUBG, hands down. But the pilot is built different. They land equipped with a gas can, sometimes 2. And they'll spend the first 2 zones looking for enough bandages, boosts, and ammo that by the time they get to the skies, their tank's half empty and are getting shot at by multiple teams. They're like mosquitoes in solos and duos, causing nothing but chaos while you're in the middle of a fight, since they usually can never hit shit when seat swapping. The pilot loves the security and comfort that a glider brings. They can see everything, choose who to fight, and easily just fly away if they're scared. It's their perfect little bubble, until they get shot down or crash, and then they get murdered. The rat. The infamous rat. A term thrown around so loosely by streamers and players alike. The term rat is meant to describe a player who thrives in the shadows. Rats often avoid fights due to a lack of confidence, or they will just sit in buildings as quiet as possible, taking more of a defensive stance throughout the course of a match, only to spring out with their infamous MP5 and bolt action combo, but only when absolutely forced to. But the term rat isn't exclusive. I've personally been called everything from a roof rat to a bridge rat, house rat, and even a bush rat. Ratting, while looked down upon by most sweaty players, it's still a viable strategy for majority of the player base, and if you were killed by one, you just have to ask yourself, who's alive and who's dead? Now, let me start by saying, if you're the type of player who random queues, you're my favorite type of player. In my experience in the NA servers, I've met both some of the most down-to-earth, chill guys that truly just love PUBG,
I was just playing some video games.
and are just there to have a casual conversation with a fellow community member.
I got big muscles.
And then there are those randos. Mind you, these are all people I've encountered solo queuing, and they've left enough of a lasting impression on me to be putting them in this video, so yeah. The rando with the dollar store mic who sounds like they're in a wind tunnel.
Alright, I'll try to catch the other one then.
The rando who doesn't talk and only uses pings. Yeah, mic, brother? Like, why are you queuing into duos or squads and don't want to use a mic? The rando who goes on a rant about why Nazis aren't that bad. The rando who was a millionaire who was addicted to meth and lost it all, got arrested for lightly choking his wife only to get blackmailed by an older lady who threatened to turn him into the police if he wouldn't be her boyfriend. That is 100% real, by the way. That guy went on a rant like half the match. And the rando that queues in North American servers that doesn't speak a lick of English, but you somehow bridge the language barrier to have a kind-hearted game. If you're the extroverted type, try playing with randos. Start asking questions, and trust me, you'll have a good time one way or another. The Goblin. Now, we all have that one friend or random teammate who may not be the best player. They take more of a passive approach to fights, but get a massive chub the second a death box appears. Their insatiable craving for energy drinks, ammo, meds, and just the pure dopamine from seeing what other players are carrying. It's like Christmas morning for them. Pay no mind that they don't really do anything to earn that loot, but they're always happy to be the first one to the death box and the last one to leave it. The feeling of comfort and safety they get from having every square inch of their backpack filled is usually short-sighted, since they usually end up just delivering it to another player. The cheater. Now, this type of player doesn't only apply to PUBG, but all games in general. Just gonna start with this. If you use hacks in any video game, especially PUBG, there is a special place in hell for you. You're a coward, girlless, skillless, dickless, and devoid of any human decency, and while I'm not a religious man, I pray that you have a terrible life. The amount of comments I've received on my channel that I remove promoting hacks or telling other players, just use scripts, it's what everybody else does, or you might as well use hacks because everyone else does. If you seriously can't fathom sucking so bad at a video game that you have to resort to using third-party software, go play Roblox or Free Fire on your phones. Like, we don't want you here. Sorry, that was really all I wanted to say about cheaters. They don't deserve the time of day, but they have given life to the next player type, the Accuser. Ever since PUBG became free to play, there has been an obvious spike in cheaters. Some regions are worse than others. Thankfully in NA, we really don't get a lot, unless they're VPNing over here. And as a natural result of having more cheaters, it's birthed two forms of what we call the Accuser. The first form is the clueless Accuser. Most players with a good amount of hours can typically tell from watching somebody's movement to playstyle if they're using cheats or not. The clueless Accuser, however, can't accept the fact that someone can be that good at a video game, and instead of taking the loss and accepting the skill difference, they rage report every chance they can get. Don't believe these guys exist? Go read any comment section of any Tiggleton video or short, and you'll see a hefty amount of people accusing a 3-time champion of cheating. The second form are dudes with thousands of hours and years of PUBG under their belt, the paranoid Accuser. After dealing with cheaters since 2017, the paranoid Accuser has become callous to dying in suspicious ways. And while most of the time they're upset and the deaths are typically fair, there is always that tiny thought in the back of their head, is this dude cheating? He's low level, he has bot-like movement, but he pulled off the most insane peek and 2-tapped me. Then they spend the next 30 minutes after a play session watching replays, trying to justify reporting the player. All of this, which I swear I've never done this. Never. I've never done this before on stream ever. Long story short, fix your anti-cheat, PUBG. Jesus Christ. And that's going to do it, boys and girls. Thank you guys so much for watching. There are a lot of different types of players in PUBG, and there's probably plenty that I missed too. So if you know any other player types, toss them down below in the comments section. Maybe I'll make a part 2 to this. If you'd like to support the channel in any way, please feel free to use creator code dweebh, and also don't forget to check out the membership page, both of which help me in this endeavor and not required, but greatly appreciated. Thank you all so much, and I will see you on the next one.